Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to another Everton 24/7 report. I'm back to keep you up to date with all the big news stories involving the Blues, and despite plenty of football being played, there is still time, it seems, for the media to dig up the odd transfer story here and there. And the name linked with a move to Everton today is an exciting one indeed. That is yet another striker in the form of Venezuelan international Joseph Martinez. He's been absolutely tearing it up in the MLS over the past 3 years for Atlanta United. In the 2018 season, he became the highest scoring MLS player in a single season. He buried 31 goals in the league and 35 in all competitions. This season, he looks set to run it close again with 31 already in all competitions to date. So no doubt he is a proven finisher, but we're talking about the MLS, and the big question would be whether or not he'd be able to score regularly in the Premier League. His only previous experience of a big European league was in Serie A with Torino. He played for Torino for 2.5 years, in which time he only managed to score a total of 13 goals over that period. If that is setting alarm bells ringing about him, his ability to cut the mustard maybe, it is worth considering though that he was very young at that stage, very raw in his Torino days, and should Martinez come to Everton now, we'd be signing a player in his prime rather than a young and experienced player. Martinez is now 26 and clearly has developed his finishing ability whilst playing in the USA. So plenty of promise in Martinez, at least to maybe bring him back to Europe, and you never know, he could light up the Premier League. Younger players have been known to come over from the MLS and perform well in England, not more so than Martinez's former Atlanta teammate, Miguel Almiron, who, of course, signed for Newcastle in January and was crucial in helping them survive in the Premier League last season. So, plenty of positives, and I do believe they outweigh the negatives as far as Joseph Martinez is concerned. In Martinez, I think we could end up getting a hard-working, pacey and clinical player that could test Premier League defences with his unpredictability. He is a signing that I would certainly endorse. It's just a matter of whether there's so much substance to this rumour now. It's just worth keeping an eye on. If Martinez does come, could he be a replacement for Cenk Tosun? There have been plenty of rumours, of course, over this summer, if you all remember, about Cenk possibly leaving Everton this transfer window, but he stayed beyond the European window to try and fight for his place. However, that hasn't stopped Sky Sports suggesting that he could move to Qatar before their window shuts, which their window doesn't shut until the end of September. So it's a Qatari team, Al Gharafa, who are interested in signing him, according to that article, and they're quite an ambitious club, and they believe that Tosun could be the player they need to get their goals and fire them up the Qatar Stars League. Whether Marco Silva and Marcel Brands would sanction a sale in between English windows remains to be seen, though, so don't be surprised if Cenk Tosun is still on our books come the start of October. Now, we'll move on to a player who has unfortunately already left the club, and that is, of course, Idrissa Gana Gueye. Of course, we had to take a bit of time out of this week's show to big Gana up once more and congratulate him on an absolutely fantastic display in the Champions League as his Paris team destroyed Real Madrid on Wednesday. Plenty of plaudits were sent Gana's way after the game, none more so than our own fans, with one person stating to a very impressed Rio Ferdinand that we loved him before it was cool. And in typical Gana fashion, he took the time out to respond to that and thank the many Everton fans who've given him love over the years and clearly are continuing to follow his success in France. Yes, we are all gutted he's gone, but you can't help but love this guy. If only the likes of Lukaku and Ross Barkley had conducted their exits in such a manner, they could have been legends as well. But once again, all about Idrissa Gueye here. All the best to him for the season ahead. He's a class player, and more so, he's a class person. So best of luck there, Idrissa Gana Gueye. Unfortunately, not everybody's conducted themselves with such class this week, and as we've learned in the last few transfer windows, slinging mud Everton's way seems to have become common practice as far as RB Leipzig are concerned. Now, their manager, Julian Nagelsmann, has come out and said that it's effectively Everton's fault that Ademola Lookman is lacking match fitness in the early stages of their season. Now, it's true that Lookman did not feature much for Everton in the early stages of pre-season and then ended up joining Leipzig later on in the window. However, if Leipzig did want to give Lookman a full pre-season, they could easily have done so. How about paying our asking price first time around, and you could have got the deal done a lot earlier instead of lowballing us for the first month. You know, there was some derisory offers made in the first month of that transfer window, which we could have bypassed all that. Lookman could have been a done deal a month earlier if Leipzig were willing to cough up the money we were asking for. And yes, I know the club is entitled to barter over price tags. It's part and parcel of the transfer market. But if transfers are drawn out because you're bartering over prices, of course it's going to reduce a new signings pre-season with the new team. It's something that we ourselves have had to accept the last 2 seasons with the likes of Moise Kean, Jean-Philippe Baman, and of course Bernard last season. It does affect your club start of the season if your players are still bedding in, but it's something you just have to suck up. We aren't going to point fingers at Mainz or Juve for our club haggling down the price tags that they've set. It's just the way it is, and if you ask me, I think Leipzig need to learn a bit of class and quickly. So there you have it, rant over. We'll end on a positive, shall we? Today, the Echo released on their site plans for a new 190-room 4-star hotel on Waterloo Road, just down the road from our new stadium site on the Bramley-Moore Dock. The plans were submitted to the council last week by developers who were considering it to be what they call the final piece of the waterfront jigsaw. Of course, Everton's stadium development is part of the Liverpool Waters overall development on the North Docks. The developers stated that the recent developments in the Everton Stadium plans helped convince them that, in their words, momentum is gaining pace in the Liverpool Waters development, which can only be good news for Everton as far as getting that much needed planning permission is concerned. So, fingers crossed that we get that planning permission. It is expected to be done, whatever happens, by the end of December, so we'll have to keep our eye on that, and of course we'll keep you up to date on that process on this show as well. So, of course, be sure to tune in again for more news on the Everton 24/7 reports. And, of course, plenty more Everton content to come your way after our game tomorrow against Sheffield United. So, of course, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And thanks, guys, once more for watching on the Toffee Blues.